Everybody, for those who just watched the NFL championship game between the Rams and the Seahawks, LJ is here. I'm actually okay with it, LJ, because I've actually been a Seahawk fan for a very long time, even though LA just lost. But that was a game. And we'll just say
it was good. It was really good.
It was good. And we're on our second night of a back-to-back-to-back. This is very Golden State Warriors, Minnesota Timberwolves right now. They're playing back-to-backs, doing the weather and everything. But we are on our second show of our three-night event, and we're going to talk WWE UnReal, the second season, which is on Netflix, which premiered on the 20th of January. So here we are 5 days after it's premiered. You were right. I was able to binge the whole thing within 24 hours. I don't know how I did it, but I binged
it's really addicting. It's really cool.
Addicting. And what's really great about it, we're going to get into all of it, but just on an overall thing, it is really great the way they did it. I even think this season was improved from last season, in my opinion. I liked this season a bit better. And, you really leave with a wonderment of not only the soap opera of it all, but just I have such respect for all these performers, just as performers of like going in the ring and delivering these performances while doing the athleticism and then doing stuff on the fly and ad-libbing. It's as we know, it's such a unique form of energy. And I think that's partly what they accomplished with this. If you're new to it,
I was gonna say that, like, when I try to tell people, like, we talk about, like, it's hard to, like, explain to somebody that's never seen it, like, what it is. It's not even, like, it's really hard to explain what wrestling really is in general. And I don't know if this was their point or what they were going for, but since the first season and second season, if anybody ever asked me, like, oh, what is it? I would say, just go watch this show, because that's all they have to do. And then I think they would get hooked.
You make it a really excellent point, actually, because you know how many times people that know me are like, wait, you like pro wrestling? Wait, I don't understand. Like, what?
Yeah.
Even though I worked there, I followed it since a kid. There's so much of it. And now I feel like if you watch this, you kind of you get an insight into it.
Because I know that most of the time I don't give, like, I think I'm giving a good explanation, and it's just, I think I get so excited to talk about it, and it's like, it sounds like gibberish, because it's like, oh, these guys are wrestling these guys, and I don't give a good explanation. So this is a perfect way, even if some people are into, like, for example, my friend that I made in Disney when I was working there she's not a wrestling fan. She barely even knows what it is. Like, she knows, like, John Cena, and that's pretty much it. But she's really into film and really into, like, production design and stuff like that. And right when they announced the first season, I was like, you're going to fall in love with this show. Like, you have to watch it, because she writes, like, scripts for movies and short films. I was like, you're really going to like the way, because it shows all the writer's room. And that's my main thing that I like about the show, is seeing the pitches and the stuff. And she watched it and she fell in love with it. So that's a fair example of what I was saying.
But for me, it's so, like, unbelievable, because when I worked at the WWE as a writer and I was on the writing team, it was so different. It was under the Vince McMahon was running it, and it was a smaller group. And now to, like, watch, they have a writer's room, and that we used to, like, meet in the basement.
Yeah, it's like, all right, what do you want to do today?
It's so different now, 25 years later, just to see how humongous it is, which I will get into the writing team in a bit, because I have some issues there.
Yeah.
But I want to ask you, I had my takeaways from this, and who do you think? Let me just show the poster.
Perfect poster, by the way.
It's
a great poster.
It's a great poster. I'm going to ask you this, and I'll tell you who mine was. Who did you come away for having more respect for after you watched it? Was there somebody, a wrestler or person? Who did you leave going, I have more respect for that person? You may.
So I have two that I think are just as equal as each other. and it's actually like I think the first one is I'm gonna say is Road Dogg. I really enjoyed that. Like people online are actually the opposite of what I'm saying when it comes to people are like saying Road Dogg needs to leave, and he's not like a good writer and all this stuff. And I'm not. And this isn't even about the writing of the show and whatever you think about his.
Oh
Yeah,
my
from,
God. I'm not in
so
agreement with you on this. This is good.
yeah.
Okay.
So what I'm gonna say. So this has nothing to do with whatever you think his booking is or whatever. I just liked that he seems like the guy that isn't afraid to step on Triple H's toes. And when he wants something to get done, he's going to keep pitching and keep pitching it, like he said in the R-Truth episode over and over again. And I got really, really into and like emotional about that whole I had no idea they were that close and their whole history together. And he was at his rap show and all that stuff. I was like, I have so much more respect for this guy because he does not have to pitch stuff for R-Truth in 2025. It's not going to, like, no one's going to complain if he's not on the show. And he really, when he found out he was released, I was like, oh, he doesn't care. He's going to say what he has to say. And I thought that was pretty cool. And that's my second person is Lyra. Because she does not have, I don't think they have to do like the interviews they do for this show because there's some guys that don't do it. And she was willing to have that match at SummerSlam and everything that went wrong. And she went right out there and she's crying and she's talking to the camera.
I have that.
Mm-hmm.
I think I have the people you're talking about in my next category, which was like most tearjerker and gut wrenching. Like that's what I have her in there. But yeah.
I thought that her whole episode and her whole story was really heart wrenching, and it was good.
Heart wrenching. Okay, so you're not gonna like my pick, but it's Seth. I have so much respect for Seth because, first of all,
I think this is a biased answer, by the way, but you're always, he could do nothing wrong in your eyes. I feel like
he can do a lot wrong. However, listen, he came on there and said, "I'm a control freak." I so relate to that. I'm a control freak. I don't like things to be right. Like I get it. I think that he showed. I think he was the kind of great narrator of the story of the season. I think he needed to be that guy based on what they were doing with the ruse and just being the guy that's kind of like, and was it Heyman that said he's just like one of the best in the ring or somebody?
Yeah.
I don't
They said Heyman said that he's been the best since he got into the main roster and he hasn't stopped being the best till now. Like I think he was talking about all in, like everything included.
And I
like,
agree.
Not just in ring.
Yeah, I agree that. And then the other thing was, him and Becky, I thought was really interesting. I'm like, is she a little bit crazy? But you know what I mean? But I thought it was such an interesting, I mean, you do get their love story. You do get them together. You did see the baby. And I just thought that he was so detailed, Seth, and understood the business. And he was not afraid to be like, I don't like this. He was kind of like, I don't like this. I want to know what you think. We're bouncing around, but I also felt I got to give props to like LA Knight because he was kind of like, they were all basically like, you're going to get screwed over again and lose. And so, and he's going, what did you think about the LA Knight? And I also want to ask you, they were so stuck on how the ladder match, how the ending might have Money in the Bank and the ladder. I just was like, why are they being so damn, like, I thought it still was great.
So it was weird watching that now, like obviously seeing the UnReal, because at first when they're talking in the beginning about what the plan is and they're like, oh, you're going to like Triple H is like, because first of all, he's another one that I feel like is a control freak. It's like, he's really upset when things don't go the way. Him and
Pritchard.
I can't remember no, the other the tall guy, Chris Park. What's his in-ring name?
You mean Abyss?
Abyss, yeah.
Yeah.
He like, I feel like he in the first season you saw it too. He like freaked out. He was
oh my god!
Yeah.
Oh my god! It is so bad.
When they did the whole rundown of the ending, in my head I was like, "What are they so upset about? Isn't that exactly what they did?" And then they go over it. That's not. That wasn't exactly how they wanted it. And I get it. Like I get that's what maybe he was told to do, but I feel like you also got to keep in mind that it's a 30 to 40 minute ladder match with all these guys in the ring. They're all trying to get their stuff in that they were told to do. And at the end of the match, maybe he definitely, he forgot probably exactly what he was supposed to do. And Seth was pissed because that wasn't what was supposed to happen. And they kind of did it on the fly. but they both worked perfectly. I thought it wasn't as bad as they were making it seem.
Then we had 2 occasions the camera with Triple H talking to LA Knight like like I would have loved to have like pulled LA Knight aside in that moment and be like,
his face during the talk with Triple H was to me, it was like I was losing anyway. Why does it matter? Like, you got what you wanted. Seth won. Like, does it really matter? That's all it looked like.
That's right. I'm like, what are you so hard on me? He was going to win the match anyways.
It was literally the face of like when your coach is yelling at you and you don't want to hear it anymore. It's like okay, can this conversation just be over? That's all it gave.
Hold on. D.L. Hudson said an idea I had for WWE is the replacement. A superstar gets recasted. Or another one where wrestler leaks the script of who wins or loses and plays the kayfabe card. These are both really good ideas.
That second one, I could so see like R-Truth, like R-Truth doing, like, you know what I mean, like stuff like that.
See that, and because we live in this age of everything blowing up on social media with WWE, like, and wrestling, right? Because everything, that's what they want, though. They want to throw everybody into a tizzy, which was very clear from the Seth ruse, right? So I was just like, okay. And then the LA Knight, though, he played his part in the ruse too, in the injury. Like, he played it perfectly. They told him to keep playing it. Right? Wasn't everyone supposed to keep playing it? And the other thing that was really fascinating to me is who knew and who didn't. Who knew and who didn't for these big spots that they were going to do that were supposed to be top secret. When Naomi went backstage and the girls were all so excited and in tears, they must have not known.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I've read.
I don't think they know.
I've read as of like a couple years ago that when Triple H got like really into creative and he was like the main guy, that he wanted like just like if you're not in the match at all, that nobody knows anything, which I think is really cool because they get to watch it as people too. You know what I mean? It's just like us. So I think it creates those unreal moments where they're reacting and crying. Like, they're not just crying because she won; they're crying because they had no idea and she deserved it, which I thought was really cool.
I thought that was really cool.
Because I wouldn't want to. If I feel like I wouldn't want to know either. I feel like that'd be cool to watch, and not like if I was a wrestler.
If I was backstage and you were going to win, but I had already known you're going to win, then I'm kind of like, I'd rather know, like, oh my God, they put the belt on you. I'm so happy for my friend, right? Like, isn't that kind of
they even kind of teased it where I don't even think Michael Cole knows most of the finishes because he reacts very on the fly too, and he's even said on McAfee's podcast he doesn't want to know anymore. He likes to have more fun with it.
And didn't they tell Cole they weren't going to tell Cole about McAfee? There wasn't that call like during episode 1.
They were like nobody tell him anything.
Don't tell Michael Cole. Let it be genuine. Let it just be. Which you think of that, then when you think of that, if that is the case, then he's pretty fantastic.
Yeah, because he makes it seem like it's going along with what he's supposed to say, but now they don't have a script. They used to have to follow a script on even the announcers.
So the first episode really focused on Seth, Becky, and Pat McAfee. And it was really, her taking time off that she took in 2024, giving birth to the daughter, and then coming back. And I was wondering what you thought of Becky in this too, in her. And she also said, I know I'm not the greatest wrestler.
Yeah.
Even showed her like early on in her career, which I didn't even know that was her.
I know. It's crazy.
The Irish Lass girl, whatever they call her. And I'm like, the one thing about her is she's got she's a good actress, basically.
Yeah. I like her a lot. Like, I like her more as a person than I think I do as her character. I think her character now is perfect. It's the most genuine she's felt. That whole like the man thing, I just never resonated with me.
I never even I didn't know why.
It kind of feels like, and it kind of feels like she even feels like this is the most she feels comfortable with too. Like, she was talking about it in the show. Like, I think she enjoys this the most out of any other character she's had. And I also wanted to ask you about, because you said McAfee. How did you feel about Triple H saying that he feels like McAfee's the face of WWE to some people? because he was like he's the face to a lot of people in the sports industry. So I don't know. That could be true. I don't know if that's entirely how I feel about it.
But wait, isn't McAfee gone now for good? Or is he coming back now after football season?
I think it's I think it's like an open door policy. Like he
I
can just
thought
come
it
in
was
whenever he wants.
coming back or something like that.
Yeah, he's like extremely busy during the college NFL season, but once that's over, he usually takes a break, and then I definitely could see him coming back. He loves
I
it.
would like to have my own show, and like he has his own show in Indianapolis, and all these people come.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Yeah, it's a great show.
I did like Seth and Becky in the first episode, and just kind of that relationship, and Rue's so cute and all that, which we've seen.
Mm-hmm.
But what did you think about Seth's whole plan and how there was a moment in the truck or in the bus before they went out for SummerSlam where he said, and they caught him saying to Heyman, yeah, I want to stomp all over Punk. Like, was he just
I think they're boys. I think that they had real life beef. That's true, but I think that's way past squash.
I think they have boys at this point, don't you?
Because they know that's what they have. That's where the money is. Like they're not gonna not do work. Even if they don't like each other, they're gonna make it work. You know what I mean? It's one of those things.
Didn't he call him Phil? I heard him say, "Hey, Phil."
Yeah, he calls him Phil. Yeah.
And
yeah.
I'm jumping around, but I gotta say, one of the moments I literally loved. If you didn't love CM Punk, I loved him even more. I just loved how he handled the performance of losing. I mean, of winning the belts.
He was so okay with it. He was so okay with it.
Okay with it.
And 10 years ago, he's not okay with it.
This is the same CM Punk, but I also had mad respect for him because how great was he in that moment? He cried, he delivered, he gave them everything on camera before.
And Seth is like, yeah, milk it up, asshole. It was great because he knows because he knows he's coming out once he's done. So he was taking his time. And Triple H was like, yeah, you should milk it. He goes, oh, don't worry, I'm gonna milk the shit out of it.
And those are like the pros, you know. I was just like, wow, watching both of them. Seth too. They were like these. And remember, the other thing that was really interesting was Seth was having a freak out. Oh, I hope, because he's a control freak, because he wants it to go well, because he thinks. That's what I wanted to say. I was like, this is not a dumb guy. Seth is not stupid.
No, not at all. Yeah.
Like, I think he's super smart.
And I think everyone's saying online, and I strongly agree, he's gonna have him and Punk are gonna have, if they want to, they're gonna be awesome producers and people in the future within the industry. They both are so smart. Like they should both be running the NXT and Raw once they're.
I would love that.
Sean is done and Triple H is done.
I would love that because I think they could do such a great job. But I really thought Seth was so, like, he gets it all so much. And the moment, remember, he was saying, I'm really worried. Like, I'm worried about coming out with the knee brace and the briefcase. And is it going to be okay if I walk out and turn around? And and he was finally relieved when he heard oh my God, the reaction.
The second pop. Yeah.
Second pop. So even thinking about that is kind of like, yeah.
Yeah. He thinks about everything that maybe you don't even have to think about. But he wants to go the next level and make sure everything's going to be perfect, and that ruse was perfectly done, and everybody kept their mouth shut because nobody knew.
Nobody kept their mouth shut, and did Cody knew right at one point in the thing?
Triple H told him, I think the morning of, he was like, "Hey, you're our guy. I want to tell you what's going on here." I think on main event, he told him earlier in the day. He's like, "Hey," and that's just because Cody's their boy now. He's the new Cena, so he gets to be told everything, which I think is smart. I mean, Triple H said, he's like, there's a few things. He's like, how pissed would you be if you had no idea and you thought your boy was hurt?
Absolutely great. Another great part. And I also have to say, don't kill me, people. I actually think Cody came across exceptionally well in this. Like, I really liked him in this as a person. Like, I liked him talking about the John Cena thing and, you know, how they were going to do the match and what he felt about it. And the moment that he cried after he won and he was hugging Cena, and there was something he said that was, what did he say? It was important to Cody. Oh, because he used to drive him around. Remember, he said he used to drive John
He was his
Cena?
driver. Yeah, he did a whole interview on that. He was his person. He was not his personal driver, but he used to drive them two. Used to be road buddies together when they were on the road for house shows when he was a lot younger.
So one of the things that's always been a wonderment to me on this is, so in soap operas, what they're tasked with, if I'm on a show and they'll hand me 60 pages of dialogue in a soap opera and I have to learn it overnight.
Mm-hmm.
And you get one take. One
Yeah.
take.
Yeah.
Right? So you understand where I'm going. This is the similarity. You get one take.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe a rehearsal. Like, that feels very similar to this. I don't even know how the wrestlers they're mapping out in their head and maybe mapping out on the ring what they're going to do, but it's a lot to memorize and try to figure out and then go into it. And then, but nobody seemed phased by it except Lyra.
They're such, and you gotta think like, yeah, they're pros. They're the pros. That's why it's WWE and they call it the big leagues and it's the main league and you want to be there. And Lyra's young and she's gonna be able to figure it out, but she definitely struggled the most out of everybody, which they showcased a lot.
Lyra broke my heart. You could feel for her. For those that don't know, she had the match with Becky, right?
Mm-hmm.
And everything went wrong. The zip ties get stuck and they don't come off, and then she tries to get them off and they're screaming at her in gorilla position, and she ran Becky into a photographer.
And right into it.
Going wrong. And I'm sure, as Becky said, she's so hard on herself, but I've been there in my own way. Like, maybe it didn't play that way to the audience, but I was mortified.
But I know what went wrong. Yeah, because it's so easy. It's a 20-minute match. It's so easy to forget as a fan. I actually didn't even see. I didn't know that they hit because we were in person. We were both there the same day. I had no idea that she threw her into the photographer until literally I watched UnReal. So like, just right there, I had no idea that happened. But she's over here mortified about it, and then I see it now. So they're showcasing all her things that went wrong. But I thought that it was. She took it well. Like, she didn't like come out and blame anybody else. She was like, it was me. I messed up. And that poor photographer that had to get out of the way.
And he was pissed. He's like, okay. Episode 2, R-Truth. I mean, so touching. Incredibly touching.
Yeah.
And I do understand the Road Dogg relationship. And yes, I do know the history of Road Dogg from having the drug problem and how close they were. I did know that. And I just didn't love Road Dogg in the writer's room.
Mm-hmm. Which I feel like everyone feels the same way. Yeah.
I also felt the same about Michael Hayes, who was there 25 years ago too.
Mm-hmm.
And Bruce Pritchard.
Yeah. Those four, like, I keep seeing like posts on X and it's a picture of those four and they're like, these people gotta go. Like, they have to go. It's gonna be a new era once they're gone.
To be honest with you, I do feel like that. Like, I feel like if you're turning the page and you're doing all this stuff, aren't there enough people that are extraordinarily qualified at this point that can, I know there's a loyalty. So the Road Dogg thing I didn't love. I loved the R-Truth story.
Yeah.
And the thing that was throwing me the whole time was he kept saying to Triple H, I want to cut my hair. And he wasn't
like, what? Triple H was like, what are you talking about? He was like, and then at the end he was like, I'm just balding. It was hilarious. It was so funny. He's like, I have to cut it off. I'm balding.
That was the whole thing, right? But
yeah, but he was telling everybody it was for his character. He's like, hey, I just wanted to do it on screen. And at the time, everyone was like, oh my god, what just happened? It worked. And then sadly, like 6 months later, they didn't do anything with him, but they did at the time. So it worked, but not now.
Did you buy the answer that was on social media that people were not happy about? So the story is that R-Truth finds out he's being released. He goes on social and tells everyone he's been released. But then AAA is refuting that, saying that's not what happened.
Mm-hmm.
Do you believe Triple H?
Well, I think only because then R-Truth came out and he was like, "Well, I just took it as me being released, and I got upset and I tweeted that thing, and then everything happened." But he was still getting let go technically. It was just Triple H was trying to be like particular, like specific. He's like, "No, he's not getting let go. He's just not getting renewed." So it is two different things, but he was still not getting re-signed, and it's R-Truth, and everyone was upset about it. But he's not even on TV, so does it really matter?
All right, here's the question for you, and I will answer mine. What was the biggest disappointment? What was
Like
after watching the fifth? What is something that you were disappointed that did not happen?
Well, actually, this goes into what I wrote down, which is
Okay.
pretty. So I wrote down. I don't know because I know you just watched it, so like you weren't able to really go into details of like the behind the scenes, like what happened in the background. So, like in the first season, they have these whiteboards up that they rough draw,
Yep.
and for SummerSlam, they had the first matches that they had written down were Roman versus Braun, Sami Zayn versus Seth, Jay versus Rusev, Finn versus Dominic, and the Bella Twins versus Liv and Raquel. That was what their plan was originally, and I think that mainly out of those five, I thought the Finn and Dominic that should have been happened at this point already. I think they're waiting way too long for this storyline to end or whatever they're going to do with it. So I think seeing that in the background that they thought it was going to happen at that point, I don't know how you can't pull the trigger on that kind of match, especially with Dom, how
You're
popular
saying
it is.
that was like something you learned that disappointed you.
Yeah, like when after watching it and seeing that they were possibly going to do that, I don't know I wanted to know who talked them out of it. I would have liked to see that a little bit more, like the discussions of, okay, we're gonna do this, and then okay, who wants to say, all right, let's pivot to this, and what happened, and when did they change the idea of that?
Because
Because
you're
it was a
not
totally different card.
right. Because you're not seeing. They're not lifting the curtain off the minutia in the writers' room. Just you only get a little glimpse. You're not getting.
Which goes into the detail of why of another thing that my uncle was talking about yesterday, and a lot of people talked about online was that it's pulling the curtain back, but they're still choosing what you want. It's still kind of kayfabe because they're still choosing what they want you to see.
Absolutely.
So they're not dumb. They're not going to show this and be like, "Oh, they saw it by mistake." They're editing everything by the second. So you have to take everything. I still feel like you're watching a reality show because
You are.
not everything is probably true because
You
they
are.
want you to see certain things.
Right. You're watching a controlled thing that people have got to sign off on the cut. There's got to be something, before it goes. All right. My biggest disappointment, and I knew this was in it because I read about this and heard about it, is just Naomi explaining how her and Sasha Banks left, but she didn't say why, and we don't know why. And to this day, we don't know why. So it's like
what was the real reason? Like, what was the actual
reason? You had her bring it up. She's not saying why. We still don't know. What is this, 20?
And we'll probably never know. We'll probably unless in like 30 years they'll do like an interview and they'll tell people.
So all she said was, remember, they won the championships. They decided to walk out.
Mm-hmm.
They walked out. They left the things on the table or whatever. Michael Cole left and left. And then fast forward, here she comes back in the Royal Rumble. So I just was wondering what they were going to do about that. It's kind of like, okay.
Why did Lesnar attack? No, we'll talk about a different day. But it's the same thing. It's the same kind of category. We'll never know. It's one of those plot holes that will never.
Wasn't that kind of a plot hole to you? Like you're like, okay,
yeah,
it's obvious they're sweeping it under the rug because they don't want to talk about it.
Yeah, so I do wonder if like Naomi wanted to, and they were like, "No, we'll let you talk about it, but you can't go into detail." Like I want to know what, because Naomi probably doesn't care about talking about it, but she's also at the time she was getting pushed out of the moon, so she's probably like, let me not say anything crazy because I'll be in catering.
Kevin makes a really good thing, and I was going to get to this. Chelsea Green is another one that broke my heart. I will tell you why. Episode 3, Michael Hayes' comment on Chelsea Green was something I want to tell you. I was very moved by Chelsea Green. I felt bad for Chelsea Green. I like Chelsea Green. And I mean, I'm watching, I was watching this and, she learned she's that, oh my God, what's her name? Are you frozen? What's her
No,
name? Who beat her for the title?
Oh, Zelina Vega.
Zelina Vega, excuse me. Zelina Vega wins. She's not, she's trying to, like, in her own way, her Chelsea Green way, suck it up that they're taking the belts off of her. And then she went through, and just hearing them talk about how she's not at that level, and then there's all these people above her. It just shows you there is still a glass ceiling. Like,
that you're never going to be able to cross.
Who are we going? And then Triple H going, who are we going to put her with? Michin? You know, like, it's like, how would you feel if you were Chelsea Green, who, by the way, is so funny, a great performer.
Yeah.
And they're just literally like, well, she's never going to go anywhere. It's like, and then the girl, as you know, busts her nose.
Yeah, like always. I feel like the 20th time.
So I kind of felt Michael Hayes' comment was shitty. I do understand what he's saying. But
yeah, it makes sense because like she's it's hard for her because she's in like the weirdest position where she's like too good for these lower tier women on the roster, like based on their character, and then she's also just not like her fighting Jade just wouldn't make sense. Like in a real like, oh my god, is she gonna win? Like you just know she's gonna lose, so it's kind of hard to book her. I think that she would do very. I think her moving to Raw would make a lot more sense because like now she can feud with new people because she's just feuding with the same people over and over again.
But I had a question for you as a person, watching her as a person, like trying to kind of justify in her mind on camera, like, well, yeah, I guess I am not the champ. I just felt something about her really got me choked up. I got choked up with her. I got choked up with R-Truth. I got choked up with Lyra.
Mm-hmm.
There was one other. What was it? Am I missing something? But those three really, I don't know. I respected her more right now, Chelsea.
Yeah.
It's like, it's just a sad commentary though on in wrestling.
It's like what else can she do? Like what else can she do for you to feel like she's good enough to be with those bigger wrestlers and bigger superstars?
No problem saying that in the writers' room about anybody. Remember, he was like, so then what? What do we do with Lyra? Then what?
Yeah, it's true. And those are the questions you have to ask. It's true.
And it is a great question to ask. Like, what do we, and Road Dogg is like fighting. Like, I'm like, shut up.
Yeah. Like, because it's like, yeah, put the belt, and then it sucks that we've ended up finding out that the belt got put on her after that season was filmed. And
Kevin
then
says that, excuse me, that's the problem. W only see her, we're talking about Chelsea, to make people laugh, just like Santilla Maria and R-Truth. Yes.
Yeah. And she's way more than that. Like it's not even close to that kind of character, I feel like.
I mean, I just don't see her as that bad a wrestler. I don't know. I mean, I guess
I think she's 100 times better than Julia, who isn't doing it. I think she's terrible as the champion. I think it's like that's the perfect example.
Yeah.
Like it makes no sense. Like if you're not going to do anything, you at least have Chelsea hold it. She's a bigger face to other people in the industry, and that watch, like we all enjoy what she does.
I don't know. So that really thing. Now I want to ask you. In episode 3, we learned about the Vision and Braun Breaker. Is Braun Breaker the same off screen as on?
I know, right? Yeah.
And I interviewed him. Have you interviewed him too?
No, not yet. I have not.
I interviewed him and he never broke character, but I thought he was just in character. Now after watching this, I'm like, I think he is the same.
Yeah, he's just the same guy on and off the screen.
Like, you're going to go in there and you're going to spear Roman Reigns, he says. And then he's like, okay.
He acted like it was no big deal. He's like, yeah, that makes
like,
sense.
But he didn't know, he did a rah like a, like,
yeah. He's like hyping himself up.
Yeah. Like, and then Bronson Reed going, yeah, I didn't have anything to do and So go ahead. You had something else you wanted to say from your notes that you wanted to.
Yeah, I just was emphasizing that. I think it goes back to what I said, that I like the show a lot. I think, and I'm excited for season 3. I just think that I really wanted more at the end when they kind of talked a little bit about the Cody and Cena thing. It's like they didn't really go into detail about it, and Cena doesn't do any interviews for it, so it feels like there's a lot missing. From like, I want one season of like the big guys doing, like we get Seth on this one, but I want a little bit more.
Are we getting? So I was, it was a really good as I was telling you, I'm watching episode 5 end, and I'm like, boom, and then it goes season 3 coming this summer, and it left you with the end of John Cena's
Yeah, so
retirement.
they did say online that season 3 is going to be all about Cena's retirement tour. It's going to be the whole thing from start to finish. Which
that'll be great. The only thing I have to say about John Cena, who I love too, is in the scenes that we saw him in, I kind of felt he was very much like a machine.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I wasn't seeing like, hey, good job, man. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hoping that in this.
Yeah, I wonder if it's just the edit they gave him or if that's just how he is.
Is that how he is? Because I can see that too. Where Cody is the emotional guy, right? He is, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, we know he's emotional. He cries every promo he gets.
All right, GTA for life. Triple H talking to LA Knight because one mistake Knight and Seth Rollins make. Wait, Triple H.
I think he meant Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins made
Seth Rollins.
Yeah.
Yes, I agree. We were talking about that earlier. GTA for life.
Because the match was great. The match was great. It was a good match. I had no problem with it.
I wasn't going because I was like, okay, it's between LA Knight and Seth, and I knew. Didn't we talk about this? I knew going into Money in the Bank, it had to be Naomi and Seth as the winners because they have the heat. It was like this was where it was going.
Mm-hmm.
I'm wondering if in the next season, if we'll talk about Naomi having to drop the title because she got pregnant.
Yeah, that it would make sense because they kind of led right into it. So I think they should. They should. It would be because it's gonna be another emotional one because she's probably gonna be really upset. Not upset, but.
For those of you that are with us in the chat or watching, did you like season 2 of Unreal? Did it leave you like, are you pissed or did you like it? Or do you feel you learned anything? Or are you kind of like, they're not rolling back the curtain enough? I just don't see
because you can only think about these episodes. There's so much that they're editing out. Like there's probably so much footage that we're never going to see. And it's like that already, it still feels like we're not getting enough.
Did you see LJ, the guy, they'd be doing stuff and there's a guy with a tiny light and the little camera, and he's in their faces. You could see them like when they should be hugging Iyo Sky. And what of Iyo Sky? I love her. She's great too.
Yeah, they gave her a nice little spotlight, which is really good.
I mean, she's
kind awesome. Of like, she's the best.
And I just feel with her and kind of a lot of these people, it's the same thing as actors. They want people to approve of them.
Yeah.
Like, you like me. I need you to tell me you like me. I need to know what I'm doing. And that's what struck me with Iyo Sky. She wanted
her handstand that she did for 5 minutes, which is very impressive.
So I want to know what other moments you had. So I really had moments that I thought got me to tears. The Lyra thing really was sad, but Penta, I just kind of didn't care about the Penta section. Am I wrong?
I enjoyed it because I really like Penta. I actually I think he's like the guy that I would love to see get a crazy, at Backlash he fights for the championship, he wins the #1 contenders champion like battle royale, and he gets to get into a championship match. We get to see him on that level because I think he's on that level. He's actually another one that I think is not like Chelsea, but I think that Heyman. I loved to see Heyman talking so highly of Penta. He's like, we have something here. The crowd loves him. He's so over. And I think it's true, but I think he's another one that they're he's so good, but they don't feel like he's at Cody and Roman's level. So it's what are they going to do with him? And he's going to get stuck in that limbo of not having something that important to do. Right now he's fighting with the Vision, but it's just these random on and off Raw matches. And are we going to get him on a pay soon? Because we haven't seen him in a long time.
Which leaves me also with the LA Knight situation, because where are they going with him now? They took him off TV. They injured him.
He'll be there Saturday.
He comes back Saturday, and does he come back as a good guy LA Knight or a heel?
Well, I think we'll see. I think we're going to see what WWE thinks of him when he comes back, because they could still be pissed at him because supposedly there's backstage rumors that he upset a lot of people. So
why did he upset a lot of people? Because he seemed to be people were upsetting him in this.
So the whole, if anyone that doesn't know, when a few months ago I think LNA was just kind of pissed that he wasn't getting pushed the way he felt, and I think he was still upset he didn't win the Money in the Bank, and he ripped the sign out of the fans, and
Oh,
it said
that's
like,
right. That's right.
forget Jay, push LA Knight," and supposedly that was really ruffled some wrong feathers backstage, and then he got written off by Bronson Reed. People thought he was going to get released. That's what like the rumor was.
But they're not. I mean, if to have him come back and just be another guy,
The same character he just was, it
same
wouldn't
character
do him well.
thing. And I know that you told me, was it you, that if Seth Rollins comes back, do you want to see him like completely like? Would you like to see him ditch all of his shtick?
It's hard because I know that they're obviously going to go with the vision and like why they turned on him and stuff, which I think is going to be good. But I don't want to see him just as like a face. I want him to see as be himself that he was when he was like with the vision. He wasn't like a face or a heel either. He was kind of like just in between because the fans love him. So I think I wanted to come back as the same. I wouldn't mind it. Just like
You don't mind? You didn't
division.
like the visionary, the legendary. Like you
No,
want
it's
to
annoying. Yeah, it's annoying.
and get rid of the
Yeah,
out.
like just be Seth. Like you know what I mean. Not this whole. I like his other stuff more than that. Like I like the Messiah. I enjoyed the Messiah, and my favorite Seth is when he was on the Authority because it was so like it's like so nostalgic for me because I think that was his best run. But this run that he was on was great, and I think that the run he's going to get on when he's back is going to be, if barring any injuries, I think it's going to be awesome. It's going to be perfect.
I know now
If they
I'm
book him
worried.
well.
Now I'm worried because Seth has legitimately, hasn't he had multiple knee surgeries and a shoulder?
Yeah, and a fake one, which you know
And a fake-
is really serious. Like, how ironic is that he fakes an injury and then gets hurt a month later and has to be out? It's crazy.
So who do you think came off the best in this? Who did you think of everyone that was in it? Did you leave after watching it and binging like you did for 2 days? Did you leave there going, oh, I really like?
I gotta say, I think.
And who didn't you?
Yeah, I'm trying to think of like even like the writers. Like I really like when Abyss is on screen because he's pretty funny, and I really liked that moment about when he was like so upset about the ending. He was apologizing to Triple H. He's like, dude, you wouldn't look good in his trunks. You can't go out there and do it for him. Which I thought was it's true because they're over here, and it's when you put a bunch of control freaks all together because they all are, and they're all upset. But I liked Iyo a lot. I thought it was that whole segment was really really cool because she doesn't get like any spot. I never see anything of her like on social media or anything. So it was cool to get a little bit more backstory on her life and the stuff she does.
And what Triple H said about her, like, I could hand the show to her and feel fine. You know, she wants to be liked. She just wants a hug or whatever. Did you like Triple H?
Yeah, I think I did. I think that he.
I did too.
I'm not like on the train that like everyone hates him and his booking
Right.
sucks. I think you're gonna have some bad storylines that don't work out. But I think
I did not hate him in this at all.
Yeah, but you have to. I always say like I don't hate him in this, but I also the one person that's gonna make sure they look good is Triple H. Like he's not gonna let you put anything in there that he's like talking shit about somebody. So I feel like I take it with a grain of salt.
What you wrestling fans think? There's never going to be a television show that they're going to be just like ripping the Band-Aid off.
Yeah,
I have so many actresses and actors that have been in reality shows here in LA, and I'm like, you really want to do this? And they're like, yeah, it's kind of scripted anyway. You know, they kind of do what they do anyway. So it's like, I think you're frozen.
What about your? Who do you think you came away with that you were like, oh, I kind of like them a little bit more, or you just like Seth even more now? That's just now.
I like Seth. I like.
He's your all-time. Now he passed Sting. He's your all-time favorite.
No.
Is he number 2? Is he like your top 5 all-time wrestlers?
I don't know. He's not in the top 2, but he's getting higher up. I just think
Bruno Sammartino is 2.
Billy Robinson from the AWA.
and Andre the Giant.
Oh, I don't like Andre the Giant.
You know what? The one thing I'll say is that a part of me was watching this and I was like, oh my God, imagine how good this would have been if they had this in like the Attitude Era. like with those guys in the back, but it would have never been allowed. It would have, like, if it was allowed, it would be really cool to see those guys backstage.
There was a lot of things I actually liked, and a lot I was frustrated about, just like you were. I was like, it was frustrating me with the writers' room. I didn't like, it was kind of like, you're showing a moment of like, we don't know what to do with her. Cut. It's not like, let's figure this out. And then we're actually seeing them trying to figure it out. This is the thing with soap operas too. The fans are nuts on the writers. Like, how do they come up with the stories?
Yeah.
We didn't really see them. I don't remember seeing, like you're saying, all right, we have SummerSlam. What are our 10 match? Like, did we see that? I don't remember. Like, where was
not really at all.
Let's come in with a blank slate. Explain to me as the viewer, how do you even construct like a preliminary list of what you're going to do? How do you get from point A to point C? How many changes does it go through to there? I understand what you're saying. We saw the whiteboard, but they're not telling it because they're not showing that, because that's too much.
I think I would literally like enjoy, because you catch a lot of these episodes or like videos of like the matches that we've seen already, like just from a different angle. You know what I mean? Like which I think is cool. It's cool to watch it back, but I think I'd really enjoy like one season of just the writers' room, like just like a camera in the corner and just watching everything they do. It would be super awesome. It would be super cool.
I think that is what fans would love to see. I do, because that's really we're taking the curtain up. Then, but I'm sure they're saying all sorts of terrible things about like, she can't. They don't want that product out there, right? Like, have her.
Even just a little bit more, I think would be cool. Just like a little bit. Just give me like a little bit more discussion and like back and forth on what people like. Because right now, all it looks like when they show these episodes is that Triple H says a few things, Pritchard will say something, and then all these other writers in there are just like, yes, okay, we'll write it down. It's like, does anybody have an input?
No, and that's what I want to tell you. That's what really, I think you just hit it on the head for me. Back when I was there, it was like that too, in a way. There was like not as many. There's, let's say, 6 of us. Vince, Michael Hayes was there. Pritchard maybe was there. And I just remember I think I told you, we would all come up with ideas, but at the end of the day, they were all thrown out and Vince did what he wanted anyways.
Yeah.
You'd have a lot of people just sitting there going like, okay. Right.
And that's what it looks like. It looks like it's still kind of like that. And maybe it's not, and they don't want to. That's not their goal is to put all these writers' room edits in there. But I think it would be very interesting to show at least a little, even because you could even do it. They're in the position where they can even do it where they want to show us more of the writers' room, but they still show us exactly what ended up happening. Because it's like, let's say they had Roman and Braun set up, and that's what they actually did. Then you could just show us clips of that because we know what happened anyway. Like I guess they don't want to show videos of like Triple H saying something. This guy's like, no, that sucks, and then they're like, all right, well now.
Or getting into like
what?
Like I get the closest we got into a dispute was Road Dogg and Triple H, right?
Yeah.
Over why are we doing, and Road Dogg not coming up with anything. Like that's the closest we got to it. I just don't know if they would do that, but that would be great if they did that. I think it's always great to humanize the performers. Now, if you listen to Seth, he doesn't want to break kayfabe. He doesn't, he wasn't great all in on this anyways, yet he's the guy that was doing all the interviews, right, with Becky. So
and
it's like
another one is like Heyman straight up saying he hates this damn show. And he was like, I think you're better off just not interviewing me because I'm not going to give you anything. But then he still does a few interviews after and like says some really good pieces. So I think a part of him wants to say a little bit more, but he feels like out of respect for all the guys he grew up with, he doesn't want to.
One of the things I thought was a mistake is Heyman about a work and a shoot. He could have explained it to the layman audience that's watching this on Netflix. This is what defines a work. This is what defines a shoot. Because if you do not know, and you're
those are strict wrestling terms. Like you literally only know those if you're a wrestling fan.
Right. So if I'm on Netflix and this is to introduce me to this, shouldn't I know that so I can understand? And
Yeah.
for him
Because
saying, like,
there's nothing about those words that like you can infer what they mean. They're very
it doesn't mean what
vague
you think
terms.
it means. If you're
Yeah.
Joe Blow who's never watched it, you're like, oh, so I'm
Yeah.
working? What does work mean?
Yeah.
Like,
What are we shooting? Yeah,
what are
yeah,
we
it's
shooting? Is
weird.
it shooting a show? Like, what are we shooting?
Mhm.
So I thought that was a mistake for him to be like, I'm not going to explain what it is.
Even if they did like a little, I think it'd even be better if like when he said the words, they put like in the like when they say their names, like all their wrestling old names, they put on the side. They could just put like work and then a tiny definition and shoot tiny definition, and
I
that would have
didn't know
even
they
been
were going
better.
to do that when I came up with that idea with you. I didn't know that they were going to do that.
Which
in
is
the
why
show.
I think it's pretty cool. Yeah, because that's what they were doing.
I paid money, Kevin says, to see Unreal with Mr. McMahon and McMahon Golf and everybody backstage. Okay.
All right, well you can pay right now because he has a funny story that he's told me a couple times. He'll give you this is a free episode Unreal on What's Up
This is
Wrestling.
episode Unreal. So I was in we were in an arena. I can't remember which one. And as a producer and writer, the phone, this is back when you had phones, not cell phones, kids, phones. And the setup was the phone is supposed to ring in the arena, and we're in an arena. So back then it wasn't cell. So we had to technically get somebody to ring the phone in the arena.
Somewhere. Yeah, you can't just pick up your iPhone and activate ring.
And apparently, and I was in charge of this segment. The phone doesn't ring. It doesn't ring. So I heard it from McMahon.
You got an earful.
I got an earful. He was not happy. So I will say that is true. In my experience.
Would you say that like how many like because like you would think like a lot of these bigger guys like Vince McMahon like aren't even like not even wrestling, like other companies that are owned by these people and they're not like as hands-on. Like he was the most hands-on person in the arena. And from your experience, like how many times did you like interact with him? Like really, like actually like besides like discussing like storylines, like was there a lot of outside stuff or was it strictly work related and then that was it?
It was work related. It was just work related. Like, it would be in after a show of Raw or whatever, it'd be the next morning in the hotel going over everything.
And was Triple H and Stephanie already like in creative? Not like fully, but like were they already pitching their own stuff and getting
Stephanie was head of creative, the writing.
Yeah.
And Triple H was still wrestling.
Yeah, but he freaking was able to do whatever he wanted. So
but yeah. So at the time, Stephanie was in charge of writing. Triple H was wrestling, but I'm sure involved. Yeah. And the whole show was run by Vince.
And no Shane at the time. Or was he still wrestling at the time? Or not? I know he left for a while, but I don't know if he was really as active when you were there.
I didn't remember seeing Shane that much at all.
Yeah, because it just goes along with like everything we hear online about how like they fully outcasted him and then he came back and all that stuff and he wanted the company and Paul Heyman said that he told him you gotta kill me for it. Yeah.
Didn't he go to China or something like out of the country, Shane?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I was hearing also on Sirius XM Busted Open in my car today. They have a show that I didn't realize they did, but they play old clips. And they played a clip of China, the woman, turning on Triple H. Was that in like 1999 or so? It was like she turned on a Generation X or turned on him. It was like a big thing.
Yeah.
I don't know if I was there yet.
We actually today, because Rumble's coming up, I like to rewatch like the Rumbles like that I haven't seen because there's some I haven't seen yet. And upstairs, me and my family watched the 2001 Rumble because I looked up best Rumbles of all time from like all these different lists, and 2001 was like literally 1 or 2 in every single list. So that was the one that Stone Cold won.
Who was in that?
It was Stone Cold. The final 4 was like Stone Cold, Kane, The Rock, and actually Billy Gunn, which is pretty funny. And he was like up and coming at the time. Like he wasn't even like not up and coming, but he wasn't the Billy Gunn we know now. And you had like Hardcore Holly and
And I remember, what about the other,
and number 30 was
Molly Holly?
Rikishi. Rikishi was in it. So, and K-Quick, R-Truth, they said it was his debut year. He was a rookie that year, and he was in it. Jeff Hardy and Matt Hardy were 1 and 3 in that I didn't even know. I had no idea they were already like at that level where people were wearing the shirts and they had the stuff on their wrists already for Jeff Hardy. It was really cool. And like I never, like, as being my age, I never like put two and two together that a guy like Jeff Hardy, who's my favorite, was at the same time as Stone Cold and The Rock. I had no idea that they crossed paths that much.
Well, they were. I'm trying to remember this all, but I believe the first segment I had to do and like direct was with Jeff and Matt. They were there when I was there, and I thought they were super nice. But it was a weird thing because it was like they're looking at me like, "Who the hell are you?" Because nobody introduced me.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm taking over this thing, and we're going to bring cameras in and do this. It was so different, though, LJ. This is sort of production values are so different now. Like everything's so much bigger and more of a spectacle, and it was big back then too. But
for its time.
Modern technology is so much different than it was 25 years ago.
Yeah, it's a state of the art, enormous everything.
Insane. So I didn't know when it ended. So at the very end of this season, one of the things I didn't love was Jelly Roll. What did you think of the Jelly Roll thing? I didn't care.
I thought it was cool. Like I wasn't like too entertained, but I thought I liked that they showed when he was like, he was like begging to lose.
I want to turn around, begging to lose, and then turn around in that match and then go after Logan.
And he got a huge pop, so it worked. I was also surprised to see how happy Randy Orton was to be doing that, which I thought was pretty cool because I thought like he would be like, "What am I doing right now?" But he liked it. He enjoyed
Logan was great when Logan.
He's awesome.
Wait, but remember there was the moment when he found out was it about Seth that he was faking it?
Yeah, about Seth.
Yeah,
when he was like, "You knew, no one told me." And then he looks at Cody, goes, "You didn't know either." He goes, "No, he knew." But he was like, "I had no idea." And it just, one of the cool parts, the highlights of like a quick moment was when he did the backflip off the rope onto the table, and the announcer was like, "I told you he could do it," and it was pretty. They love him over there, and he deserves it. I think
I shouldn't have said that. The Jelly Roll thing was good. I take that back.
And I've been saying I think that he should win the Money in the Bank. I think he should win it.
Logan or Jelly Roll?
No, Jelly Roll. No, no, Logan. I think Logan should.
Here's the winner is Jelly Roll.
Yeah, I think Logan should win that.
The other thing that was really interesting, and I felt you felt this. So we went to SummerSlam. We saw these. I was kind of watching this going, I'm like, wait, I was there. Wait, I was there. It was the first time I can say to you or anybody like, oh, wait, I was at SummerSlam. I was at WrestleMania.
It was cool.
I went, oh, I saw this. Where did I see this? Oh, I was there. That was kind of a cool thing.
Yeah, and it's also cool to see it from this point of view after like being there, because it's a totally different atmosphere when you're in the arena and when you're not, because like we said, it's made for, like you always do, it's made for the screen, so you're there in person, but you don't get to see these facial reactions and all the stuff that's going on in the ring when you're there. So it's really cool to see it on the show, because they really do highlight like the stuff that they wanted to highlight, like what their goal was in that match. So, and what goes wrong and what goes right. It seems like Rhea and Iyo do nothing wrong, so they're both perfect. Yeah,
they're perfect. All right, so your final, as we wrap, what's your final grade? What are you giving it?
I give it an A. I liked it a lot. It's really fun to watch, and I always want more. Like I always wish I got more, which is what they probably want. So I guess we'll gotta wait till season 3. They said fall of 2026. Summer. Oh, summer. Oh, even sooner. So that's even better.
And it's going to be Cena-esque, which is great.
I got to bring the tissue box out.
Tissue box. I give it an A. I have to tell you, for someone like me who had to sit there, I mean, I was like, I got to get through 5 episodes in quick order. And
Yeah.
I was like, oh, and then I would have to go away from it for a moment. And when I went, wait, something happened. I got to go back.
Yeah.
Like I was thinking I could fast forward, but you can't fast forward because then you miss. So I thought it was an A. I do. And I actually
Yeah.
thought for some reason this felt a bit more cohesive. I like this one better than the first season. Or did you like season
I
one?
liked it better. Yeah, I liked it more. So you don't have a problem with the whole like breaking kayfabe and nothing's off limits anymore. You don't mind it, or do you like it sometimes when there's like certain things that you wish were more secluded and secretive?
All right, well, here you go. You're putting me back with my Seth. I kind of agree with Seth. I think Seth is the one that made, again, he kind of laid it out. Like, if you can just give him this much that it could possibly be,
Mhm.
I mean, the way he explained it, and he's not about breaking kayfabe. We didn't like that either. I think pro wrestling has had this amazing mystery for years and years and years and years and years of how they do it. That I don't know if you get everything taken away from it,
Yeah,
it is that allure.
yeah. That's
But
why I try to stay off like I'm always on X, and I don't know if it's the same for you, but like when I'm on Twitter and X, it's every single swipe is like wrestling. It's insane. And
everything,
yeah,
my
every swipe. I'm like, oh, I'm like up to date on everything. But when the shows are going on, I try to stay off of it because I want to be surprised. Like I don't want to get everything like ruined for me. Like for the Rumble, I don't want to know who's in it. Like I want to be surprised. Like even them announcing Roman was like, can we just not do that? Can we just be surprised when he comes out?
and scream and go,
Yeah,
yeah,
because we all know he's gonna probably show up, but it's still the doubt, like Seth said, a little doubt of him not being there.
Yeah,
But
and I hate to go back to Seth, but that's why when you asked me who I respected more, it's just because I feel like Seth gets the whole thing, and he was like, if I can just make you think that much, you don't know what's going to happen. If I can put a little bit of doubt, if we can do that, and breaking kayfabe, I don't know. We are living in a world, LJ, in the contemporary world, where everybody wants to know every backstage story about every single thing about everybody's life. That's just what everybody
yeah,
goes on TikTok.
everybody has an interview, everybody has a podcast,
Right,
everybody has
but
a
then
YouTube channel.
nothing is, I mean, tell me what show has it not blown, like, the inside of this, like, it's so inside baseball. I don't know. Pro wrestling was always, to me, it was like, how do they do that? How do they do
Yeah.
that?
Mhm.
So we get a little bit of it. I like that we saw, I did like how we saw who knew backstage, how they did that, how they would talk at the ring, like this is going to happen. Like, I think that was good. I just
Yeah.
don't know how far you want to go. Kevin has one last comment. Roman Reigns too lazy to show on the main show.
Yeah.
What's the deal with Roman Reigns? I
He's gonna
love Roman
win.
Reigns. He's gonna win.
Yeah. That's what
That's
everyone thinks.
the conversation for tomorrow.
That'll
So
be that's the tease for tomorrow's show.
tomorrow's show, we're gonna be on right after Monday Night Raw. Should be 10:30 p.m. Eastern, 7:30 Pacific, right here on the Michael Fairman channel. We'll be doing our review of what happened on Monday Night Raw and leading into Royal Rumble, and then we will make our Royal Rumble predictions tomorrow night. And that's our last show of our triple back to back to back before we do our post show at Royal Rumble next Saturday.
Yeah, because we're flying on Tuesday to Saudi Arabia. So when we get there, we're gonna need a couple of days. And then on Friday, we'll
Call
recap.
like, what hotel are you staying at? I don't understand.
Imagine how confused we were confused getting to each other in Philly. Imagine in Saudi Arabia.
Where did we take? Was it Philly? Where did we go under the ground? Philly.
We left the hotel.
This was
and we weren't getting. Remember the Uber wasn't finding us, and you were getting pissed because he was just driving around in circles, and then we had to cancel it. We have to get there.
We were walking in the freezing cold to the station, up the street, and then we had to go down. And then remember, there was the money.
Then we couldn't figure out the thing. Then we bought it from the guy, and then the train was sitting there waiting. We had to run to the train, and I think you just had a procedure done, so you were like, you couldn't really do that much. But we made it. Then we watched like the best thing ever, so it was all worth it. But it wasn't funny. We have a one day we'll do a show. We talk about all the funny stories of.
Wait, did I break my nose then or then L.A.?
That was when you broke your nose.
Philadelphia. Okay. Chelsea
we'll do injuries of what's up
I feel
wrestling.
you, Chelsea Green. I feel you, Chelsea Green. That's what I felt. I was like, yeah, I broken it.
And the quick thing, the best part of that whole thing was that it happens right before the show starts, right?
Right before night one.
I go with you. We go downstairs into the medical room. You're in there like I need like hurry up. Like you were like a wrestler. Like I need to get back like a pro athlete. Right? I need to get back out there. And then of course Lesnar and Lesnar's the first match, and it's over before we even got back out of the before we even got back out. We missed an entire first match.
Hey, but the best last thing, I'm sorry, before we go, is remember they get.
Wait, I got another. I had another. I just started laughing thinking about when I first met you in LA when we were at Mania in LA when they were wheeling you around to get to your seat because they couldn't find where your section was, and I was walking behind you.
I think I just had another procedure and I couldn't walk that far. I mean, I was in a wheelchair one WrestleMania, and my nose got busted.
You lost your teeth?
Lost my teeth at Royal Rumble. It's been great. I don't know if I want, so I'm not going to Saudi Arabia.
I'll let you know what happens to me in Chicago. We'll see what happens.
Oh, yeah. Okay. All right, everybody. Have a good start of your week, and we'll see you tomorrow night right here.
Yes.
What's Up Wrestling. Thank you so much.